Okay, so welcome to our back office training for leaders. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share you guys so that you can kind of look with me in the back office, and that way we can kind of go along with things. Hi, Amanda. Yay, another face. Makes me happy to see faces. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share, and we'll just jump right in here because I don't want to take up too much time of your day today. So tell me when you guys can see this. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Oh, good. I'm on my laptop because you guys, if you've been on any trainings with me recently, you know that my computer has not been working very well with Zoom. So I'm like, I'm now sitting, you should see it's like a junkyard of electronics around me right now. Okay, so this is your back office. And basically I'm just under the track team performance tab here, and see if I don't know where the best place to put you guys. Maybe I'll put you up here so that you can see what we've got going on here. So first thing I want to show you guys is, so we're under your team performance information, and there's a couple of things that, like, I know I even realized talking to another director the other day that, I mean, there's directors in this company that don't know some of this stuff. So again, I apologize if any of this is a little bit remedial for you, but there's so many different things in here. And unless you've spent a lot of time playing in here, you may not realize what all this can do. So you guys probably know it's best to work. I work in Google Chrome when I'm in our back office. It's, to me, it's been the most friendly. I've heard people have some success with Firefox too. I know Internet Explorer doesn't work terribly well. So if you're not using either Chrome or Firefox, I recommend downloading that because they're free, and why not? Make your life a little bit easier. So you guys will see, basically when you just go in here and you pull it up as normal, you'll see your name, you'll see your team down here, and anybody who has a team, you see that little plus mark next to them. You can then take a look at their team as well. So nothing is expanded right now. They're all together. If you click on this, if you just want to look at one person in particular, you can click on that little plus sign and it'll show you who their people are. You can click there. If you want to open up everybody in your whole team, up here, this little brown button that says expand all, you can click that and it'll expand everybody for you so that you can see your whole downline. Now there's another way that you can do this as well. So do you guys see that? How everybody is like opened up now, right? And so now that they're all open, you can see where everybody sort of falls. So this is a great way to look at your team if you want to see sort of lineage. Now, if you're just pulling, recognition within your team, and you want to be able to sort, it doesn't matter where they fall in your downline. So you want to be able to sort, let's say, your top 10 for personal sales volume, right? So if you look over here where it says view ads, and right now we're under view, you can click list and then hit search, and this will pull your team up in list form. Okay, so scroll down here, it takes first a minute to think. Okay, so now we're in list. So you'll see we no longer have little plus marks, but this will show everyone. Now, if you scroll over here and let's say you want to sort by personal sales volume, you can sort your team by any of these titles up above. All you have to do is click on this, okay? So it's going to sort it. For some reason, it sorts it from smallest to largest. So if you click it twice, it'll sort you from largest to smallest. So you can see here, now we're sorted by personal sales volume, from our highest, down. And so this is a great way that you can look at your whole downline and see who's sitting at the top for personal sales volume. And of course you can sort by any of these categories. So if you want to see, for example, like who has recruits in for the month, you can sort by recruiting. You can sort by parties if you want to see who's done, how many number of parties people have done. You can sort by group volume if you want to look and see, how your leaders are faring as far as how their team volumes are going, all that good stuff. So that's list versus tree. Now there's also filters up here, which this was the thing that I know not everybody realizes that this is there. But once you've sorted by list if you click on show or hide filters, you can then pick different filters if you want to look at different things. So one thing that I like to do, and I know, you know, we've got one manager on here, but I know we may have other managers watch this later too. As you start developing other managers within your team, you know, it becomes very difficult to sort of look at, you know, just one specific team. So what you can do is over here on the right, when you've got different manager teams, you can actually sort by manager team. So if you want to look at just your personal group, you can click on your name and it'll pull just your personal group. Or you can click on one of your managers and it'll pull up one of your managers' teams as well. So if you want to look at a specific manager, you can do that there. Okay. You can also sort, let's say you want to say, I want to find out anybody who is, you know, not active or, you know, not close to their rolling 6 months or 3 months. You can sort, you know, this shows you less than, you know, I want to know anybody who has less than $600 in their rolling 6 months, and that will pull up, you know, any of those people as well. So you can also sort by paid as title, by title, if you want to look at just your chocolatiers, or maybe you want to look at your senior chocolatiers to see who your up and coming team leaders might be. You know, a lot of different things that you can kind of do in there. If you want to look at, say, just your level 1 people, you know, you can do that there as well. So there's a lot of different sorting options under show and hide filters. Next, you see we've got an export here. So most times, if you want to look at your team as a whole and you want to export it into Excel, and sometimes I find it just a little bit easier to look at things in Excel. So if you're in here, especially as your team grows and you're getting a bigger and a bigger team, it can become overwhelming. So I tend to export a lot of times when I'm doing my viewing of my downline into Excel, so that you have 2 options here. All rows, this is going to show everyone in your entire downline. It's going to export the entire sheet, right? Now, if you want to just pull a specific thing, you would, you know, let's say you'd gone in and sorted by your managing group, or, you know, one of these filters that you had selected, and you only want to export that particular spreadsheet. That's when you would click rows in view, and it will pull a spreadsheet for just what you have sorted already in your back office. Okay, so like I do that a lot of times if I want to email just my personal group about something maybe I'm doing that I'm not doing for my entire org, the challenge or something like that. I'll go in, I'll sort it by my own personal group, and I'll hit rows in view to just export my personal team. Okay, let's see here. Oh, bookmarks, you guys. This is something that is super helpful too. So if you've got, like, let's say you've got, I don't know if I can, for some reason now my team isn't showing it all here. If you've got, let's say, a hot shot on your team, maybe an up-and-coming team leader, maybe an up-and-coming manager on your team, and you want to be able to just go in and look at just their team and what they're doing, you can set a bookmark for them. So how you do that, let's see if I can get this to pull back up here. Maybe. Thinking. Does anybody have any questions on anything so far while my computer's thinking? Nope. Nope. There we go. Okay, so let's say, okay, Kathy Willingham, she's an up-and-coming team leader on my team. So I'm going to click on her, and let's say I want to kind of keep an eye on her. When you click on her name, it's going to pull up this little you know, contact sheet. Down here it says add bookmark. You basically just click add bookmark. And as you can see, it's pulled up just her team. Okay, and you can also do this in tree view, by the way. And then anytime you log in and you're looking at your team and you want to go see what a specific person is doing, and again, this becomes even more valuable as your team grows and you start having people in your 2nd, 3rd, 4th line, you can actually go in here so you guys can see I've got a bunch of bookmarks because I got a lot of hot shots on my team. So you can go in here and you basically choose whoever you want to choose. Here, we'll click on you, Stephanie, because you're on our call. And I click on you, and look, there's Stephanie's team. right? And so it's just a really quick, easy way to access, you know, your hot shots on your team, which is awesome. And you can pop in there and see how they're doing, and gives you a great opportunity to touch base with those people. So do you guys know that? I know that's when I hear a lot of people that are like, I had no idea I could do that. So highly recommend it. And you can then, you know, if you have somebody that was a hot shot and all of a sudden now they're not, you can go in here and you can just X them out, and it'll take them right off your bookmark list. Okay. All right, so next, a couple other things under view. Another category that I love to take a look at is team bookings. So if you select team bookings and then you hit search, it's going to pull up what your team has booked. And this is all assuming that they're putting their parties in their back office, right? Oh, hi. Sorry. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. My computer is so slow today. So this will show you, you know, who's got bookings coming up. So this is really great for you and working with your team and doing really planning for your month. If you're like, oh my gosh, our team is so short on upcoming bookings, like we better do a booking blitz, right? It gives you a lot of information. Or if you notice somebody constantly has a ton of parties booked, but maybe they're not always holding them, that's a great opportunity for you to maybe give them a call and offer some extra coaching on host coaching, right? So like the category I love is next month bookings, so that I can kind of see who's got a bunch of parties coming up next month, right? So you guys will see we've got 9, 8, 8, 8, 7. So, you know, these are great people to reach out to that have a lot of bookings and just be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, you know, that so-and-so has this many parties up for the month. You know, how are you feeling about host coaching? How are you feeling, you know, how are you doing for getting those guest lists back? You know, things like that. You can also scroll down. You can maybe go the other way. Who doesn't have any parties booked? You know what I mean? Like, that's also a great opportunity for you. You guys probably don't feel so bad seeing all these zeros here, do you? We all have them, right? So, you know, who doesn't have parties booked? Who can you reach out to help re-engage them in your business? You know, this is just really a great thing to see. You can also sort by qualified parties, which you can do that in your other section too. So it's not something I do here. I really look here for my up and coming bookings. Okay. There's some other categories here too, you guys. Let's see here. I keep having to move you guys. So quick start is also another thing that I do use from time to time. So this is a great for pulling everybody's dates. And again, you can sort it at the top so that you can kind of see who has, you know, their 45 days are coming to an end, or maybe they're 90. It's a great opportunity to email them or give them a quick call and check in as well. So does anybody have any questions on that? So you can see there's initial agreement date, day 45. It'll tell you like who's, you know, qualified for what and what date they did too. So there's a lot of great information on there as well. All right, so back to track team performance. One thing that comes up super, super often with my team leaders is knowing who's active, who's not, why, how can I tell? You know, I see heads nodding here. So that's something that I really wanted to go over today as well, because I feel like this is my #1 most asked thing and most confused thing amongst my leaders. Okay, so we're looking here at my team. Let's see, who do we want to open? I sort of hate to, like, you know, open anybody because I don't want to embarrass anybody. So Stephanie, can I pick on you? You have a really strong team. Do you mind if we look at your team? Except I feel like I'm missing. Why does this page look funny? Okay. Is that okay, Stephanie? Okay, thank you. I just don't want to, like, you know, pull somebody up who's like, oh, I can't believe you let people look at my team. Okay, so looking at Stephanie's team here. Let me scroll down here. Oh, whoops, it didn't do it. This is funny. Let me try again. It's kind of hard to like navigate my little Zoom screen. Try putting you guys up here again. Stephanie. Okay. So if you, maybe, it doesn't want to pull you up, Stephanie. I don't know why. That is really funny. My whole screen looks kind of funky right now. I know. Let's try this again. All right. Bookmarks. Oh, that's really funny. I don't know why. All right, that's all right. We're just going to go back. We'll look at mine.
Oh, or you can look at mine. Mine's small.
All right, let me find you.
I only have like 3 or 4 people, so.
Look, I have a bookmark for you too. Let's see here. Oh my goodness gracious. It's like my computer. Oh, you know why? For some reason I'm under incentive trip. Hold on.
Oh.
I don't know how I did that. I'm down in the wrong screen. That's why. Look, there you are, Stephanie. You were there all along. All right. So you guys are here. See, they'll let anyone do this job. Anybody can be a senior director with Deb, just so you know. It must be the end of the holiday.
You do work chocolate, not work the computer, right?
I know, but I am I definitely am a huge computer nerd. So, okay, so we're going to scroll all the way over here, you guys, and we're going to look at active, okay? So there's a couple of things here. So how you tell if somebody's active. First of all, you can always look at your team leaders and see how many active personal recruits. If somebody's showing up, this is the question I always get. Somebody has 1,500 in their team volume. They have their 600 in their group volume, but why are they not showing as paid as team leader? And oftentimes, the first thing I'll do is I go in and I look and see how many active personal recruits they have. So if you go under here, number of personal active recruits, it will show you a number. And so that way you need to make sure that they've got at least the amount of active personal recruits that they need for their title. So at team leader, that's 3, okay? So you need to make sure that they've got 3. If they're not showing 3, then you're gonna need to go in here and figure out why that is. And so you can do that by looking at their team or at their rolling 3-month volume for their teammates, okay? So, we'll take Debbie, for example, here. So she's showing at 0, right? And so that's why her little box is red under rolling 3 months. And just so you guys know, in order to be considered active for the upline, a chocolatier has to have $400 or more in their rolling 3-month period. Okay, so you'll see, anybody who's red does not have 400. Now this Jamie has 215, right? So she needs less than $200 to be considered active. Now you guys will also, let's see, I guess you don't have a good example in your team here, Stephanie. Let me try clicking on well, let's expand some people here. Maybe that'll help. Expand all. Okay. So let's look a little closer here. Well, I guess I don't, oh, here's one. Okay, so let's look at Amy here, right? So Amy is showing in the red, whoops, because she doesn't have $400 in her rolling 3-month. However, you guys will notice right here, there's a check mark under active. So does anybody have a guess why that might be? No?
They're still in the start?
Yeah, not quite. So it's because she's still in her first month plus. So month plus is when somebody signs up. Let's say somebody signed up today, mid-December. Their month plus is the rest of December plus their first full month in business. So a chocolatier is considered automatically active in their month plus. Okay, so she still counts as an active leg, even though she doesn't have her 400 in her rolling 3-month period. And she will be considered active through the end of her month plus. So depending on when she signed up, so she signed up on the 30th of November, so she'll be considered active through the end of December. Come January, she's going to need to have $400 in her rolling 3-month in order to be considered active. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes? Does anybody have any questions on that? So it's one or two things. They either need to be a brand new recruit in their first month plus, or they need to have 400 in their 3-month rolling period. And you can find all that info here. And so make sure that you're on top of that, especially as you start promoting out team leaders, because I feel like that's one of the biggest places that people miss their team leader being paid as team leader, which then affects, you know, being paid as a manager, is by missing like having enough active recruits. So you need to be on your people, like A, keep recruiting, but B, making sure these people have at least $400 in their rolling 3-month. One or the other, or both is even better, right? So very good. Yeah.
I was wondering, because I went ahead and I opened up mine so I could kind of see what you're doing. Which report were you asking in that drop-down menu up at the top? I can't, since
it's just your basic. Yeah, my enrolled team. Yep. So, and that's the one it just defaults to when you open.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, so the next thing I want to show you guys is, I don't know how many of you guys know that this exists, but if you go to under track my performance, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, we're going to give it a minute here because my computer's slow. There's a tool called Coach Me to a Promotion, okay? And this I freaking love. I think this is so cool. So we're gonna scroll all the way down here. Coach Me, and for some reason this kind of comes up funky on my computer. But I love this. So it gives you, especially again, as you're, you know, moving up the career plan, you know, it's always really important. You don't necessarily have to know every you know, requirement for every level in your career plan. I think it's super important to know what your requirements are for your current title and for the next up and coming title as you're moving up the career plan, okay? And so you guys will see here your current monthly title status. So I love the visual of this. You know, as a photographer, I'm a super visual person. And so you'll see green and red boxes on here, and this is going to tell you sort of where you're falling for the month, and so that you know what else needs to happen for you to get paid at your title in the current month. So this is a great just snapshot for you. I a lot of times will pop in here first before you even look at my downline, just so that I can be like, okay, you know, here's where I'm short. So I'll let you guys see mine for the month. So, you know, it's showing me, you know, my current title is Senior Sales Director. Right now I'm short 1 senior manager and 6, I don't have my 6 manager legs in title yet. But it's showing me I've got my personal volume in, I have my personal group volume in, right? So that way I can go in here and look and be like, all right, I need to see who's not at title in order for me to get paid at my title, right? And so it just kind of gives you an idea of where you're at. Now, the really cool part too is that as you're working up your career plan, it's also going to tell you what you need to do next. Right, so if you scroll down just a little bit, so my next title is Executive Director. I have a little bit of a stretch to go before I hit this one, FYI. So you guys can see here, it's telling me I'm short 4 qualified manager legs to reach this title, 2 qualified senior director legs, and $393,506 in downline volume. That's the part that makes me sweat a little bit, but it's all right. But so you guys, it'll show you what your, you know, how short you are for reaching your next promotion. So, you know, as you're working towards that next promotion, especially as you go up the ranks, you know, all the I's that have to be dotted and the T's that have to be crossed are different, right, for each level. And so the further up you go, the more complicated that gets and the more important this becomes. Because, you know, you might be sitting there as a team leader right now going, well, you know, I know what I need for my next promotion. If that's the case, awesome. But even if going from senior or from team leader to senior team leader, you know, so this might say if you're right now currently paid as team leader and you're working towards senior team leader, you can pop in here. It's probably going to say you need 1 qualified, you know, team leader leg. It might say you need, you know, so much in group volume, whatever, in order to hit that next level. So I love this because a lot of people, I don't even think realize how close they are to their next promotion until they pop in here and see this. And it's like, oh my gosh, super doable, right? So this is a really great tool. I encourage you guys to all pop it into your back office and take a look at this, you know, periodically throughout the month, just to see like how close you're getting, you know, to that next level. It's a great way to figure it out without having to go through each and every person on your team, you know, and figure out, you know, who's entitled, who's not, who, you know, needs this. I mean, you're obviously going to need to dig a little deeper once you start getting close to figure that out, but this is just a really great snapshot for you. So does anybody have any questions on that?
I do.
Yes.
When it says that, like, if you need 4 qualifying legs as a manager, like for me, I need 1 more team leader as a manager or to hit manager.
Okay.
But that, and I think Stephanie already, you know, talked to me about that too, but that cannot be underneath my original team leader that I have now too, right?
Correct. Yes. So as a manager, you need 2 separate team leader legs. So they need to, yeah, one can't be under the other. They have to be separate legs. Now, the cool thing about having a team leader under a team leader is if that first team leader slacks off, that second team leader does count as an active leg. But you can only count 1 team leader in any particular leg, if that makes sense.
Okay. But so with yours, like, you can only count like Erin as your manager, and then anything else.
Yeah, so Erin is my first line manager, right? Because she's direct to me, or she's, you know, even if she wasn't direct to me, she's my manager, first manager, like closest to me, right? Now Stephanie is a manager under Erin. So Stephanie does not count as a manager leg for me. However, Stephanie, because she's a manager, promotes Erin to senior manager, which now Erin counts as a senior manager leg for me, if that makes sense. Now, let's say Erin slacked off, which I can pick on her because she's not on, and I think that's funny because everybody knows Erin doesn't slack off, right? So if Erin were to slack off, though, and not hit her manager numbers and Stephanie hit hers, I could count Stephanie as an active manager leg. Okay. All right, any other questions? I better check our chat box here because I've been ignoring it. Hang on, I'm going to hit stop share. We'll get back to faces here. Okay, that all looks good. So any other questions before we hang up? Hi, Sarah. I didn't even see you pop on.
I just think I'm going to play with the back office thing.
Yeah, and the more you get in there and the more you kind of play around and look at those different things, you know, you can really, there's a ton of information in there, you guys, that you can use to help build and grow your teams, you know. So you can also, and I don't know, actually, I didn't talk about this at all. Hang on, let me just pop back in here real quick. You know, being able to look at each individual person too, there's some great information that you can find. Hang on one second. Let me get back to where I need to be here. So if we're looking at an individual person, you can actually click on this little box right here. We'll pull up their My Business Details page. So I don't know if you guys knew that. Oh, I see shocked faces. So yay for learning something new. But this is awesome as you're doing coaching, you guys. You know, it's a good idea to pull up this information before you get on a coaching call with one of your teammates so that you can take a look. Look, you can find out, you know, their number of qualified parties. You can find out their number of new recruits, average party volume. This one right here is huge information for you to have. You know, if you notice somebody's like really like every party's $200, you know, that gives you an idea of, okay, maybe I need to work with this person on upping their, you know, number of guests coming to a party, or their, you know, they're upselling, or, you know, find something that's going to help them work on that particular thing. Average, it has your average personal sales volume, their group volume, their group party size. So, you know, maybe a whole team is struggling, you know, with hitting an average party size, things like that. So this is all, and it shows you, you know, month by month, kind of where they're at. So this is really great information if you want to look at a specific person as well. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's, oh, go ahead.
Amy asked how you got there again. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, so this is just on my enrolled team, and you're just clicking on the little box, the show business details box, just to the left of their name, and it'll pull up that screen. And you can do that for anybody in your downline. Okay. All right, any other questions? All right. Awesome. Well, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas next week if you celebrate Christmas, and you know, be looking out. I have some rather hilarious Christmas cards coming out soon, so yay for you. You guys are lucky.
Merry Christmas, Amy. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Great. All right. Well, take care, you guys.
Merry
You
Christmas.
too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.